Hey guys, Trevor here with Red Lake Patriot. I told you guys in the past and other videos I have that when we get a new gun into the shop that we have not made a disassembly video on before, I want to go ahead and make one just so you guys have a visual point of reference and to show what we do as far as taking it down and getting it ready to go into the ultrasonic cleaner or just to be cleaned in general. So what we have here today is my buddy's Rock Island Armory VR80 12 gauge shotgun. That's a mouthful. I got the chance to go out and shoot this not long ago. I have to say I am absolutely in love with this platform. I will definitely be adding one of these to my arsenal. Do not tell my wife. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the video. As always, firearm safety here at Red Lake Patriot. I do not allow ammunition into my shop or near my bench. As you can see, it is clear. There's no magazine, there's no ammunition at all. So don't mind the noise. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send this bolt home real quick. So this right here, this charging handle is just a little rubber piece. Just comes right off, you can set that aside. So visually, as you can see, it looks like an AR, right? So starting to disassemble it, and again, this entire video, disassembly video, is gonna be exactly what Rock Island Armory, as far as their instructions, this is gonna be what they recommend. Red Lake Patriot will never disassemble a video outside of what the manufacturer will and does suggest as far as their directional disassembly process. So to start with, you have these two takedown pins, okay, just like any AR. Go ahead and push those through. I will say, as I take these pins out, one thing I did notice, okay, yeah, pain in the butt, this color of the VR80, if you were to go and watch the disassembly video from Rock Island Armory themselves, their video shows a black version of this, an all black version of this, okay? In their video, there we go. In their video, the upper and the lower separates very easily. What I've noticed with this one, this color in general is what I'm talking about. This Cerakote has added extra material where the upper meets the lower, causing this to be very difficult to put back together or to separate. So just bear in mind if you were to go and buy one of these, or if you have one and you have not shot it or cleaned it yet, just keep that in mind. When you go to reassemble it, don't manhandle it. You don't need to beat it. You can figure it out. There are ways to mitigate that issue of it being difficult, but do not beat it. You will probably break it and destroy the visual exterior of your nice, awesome VR80. So now the takedown pins are out. I'm gonna go ahead and separate this. Like I said, it's a little difficult. There we go. Don't mind the noise. That is the bolt. Just going backwards a little bit. Nothing to worry about. So this is the upper, okay? This is the bolt carrier, handguard, and this is not a suppressor, this is a shroud. So to start with, we are just going to go ahead and remove this shroud. Now once you're done removing the shroud, you can just set it aside. Like I said, not a suppressor, just set it aside. Once you're done removing the shroud, the handguards will just come right off, okay? Set that aside. Now what's next is the gas system, this little locking screw right here, okay? Go ahead and unscrew that. Take it off. Be careful, I'm not trying to ruin any of the threads here. Set that aside. Okay, now what I want to show you with this part, try to show it to you without them coming out just yet. Right here, the next thing, when you pull this back, there's the split ring. It's just a ring that's cut in half, split rings right there. So when you go ahead and pull this back, most likely they'll fall out just like that, okay? Just set those aside. Now you can go ahead and remove the rest of the gas system. Move the rest of the parts, set them aside. Now, if you're not sure, if you do not have access to a computer and you don't have a manual as far as going when you go to reassemble this gun, it would behoove you, probably be in your best interest, just take pictures of it. Take pictures along every step, so when you go to reassemble, you don't have the magazine or you lost the one that this gun came with, you have a visual reference for you to look at and see, well, okay, now I see the order that the different parts went, and you can save yourself some headache, okay? So from this part on, with ARs, obviously you wouldn't take the barrel off, right? They're embedded, they're not supposed to be removed. To clean them, with the shotgun it's different. There is a screw right here. There's two of the same size and style, okay? And that is actually the only thing that is holding this barrel into the upper. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I'm going to show that to you real quick. All right. So that is what was in there. There are two of these in there. Okay. Then the small parts basket. Another thing, again, in my other videos, I say it in pretty much every one I'm going to do on this page. Just make sure you have a small parts basket. This is the one I got when I went to the Glock Armors course. You don't necessarily need to have this one. Just have something that you can put small parts in so you don't lose track of them, okay? So like I said, there are two of those screws in here. This second one is actually what is putting that tension, right? They're both putting that tension on this barrel. I do not need to take the second one out all the way. I only need to loosen it to where I can get this barrel out, just like that. So you can see there is a notch right here on the underside of this barrel. Okay, that is where the screw puts that tension on, and that is literally all that is holding that into the upper receiver. Okay, so now your barrel is good to go, ready to get some love and get all cleaned up. Okay, from this point on, obviously you have the barrel and this charging handle, bolt and the charging handle. The bolt is sitting on this bolt carrier, okay? So obviously this charging handle is preventing you from removing that. All you need to do is you don't need to manhandle it, just pull straight up and it comes right off. As you see on the underside of this charging handle, there is an indent right there, right? A little, looks like a ball, looks like a circle. There's also a notch right here at the front. Set that aside and I'll show you why I'm pointing that out here. Now you can remove the bolt and the bolt carrier, okay? Bolt just comes right off. On the carrier itself, there is a ball right here. This charging handle only goes in one way, okay? Hence the ball and the indent right there at the front. It only goes in one way when you go to reassemble this, all right? Make sure you're keeping track of that. If you try to put it in the other way, you're probably gonna break something. You can set that aside. Now at this point, obviously I'm going to take the optics off. I'm not going to put the upper like this into the ultrasonic cleaner. Do not put optics into an ultrasonic cleaner. I will repeat that. Do not put optics into an ultrasonic cleaner. For you guys that are watching this video, if you know of an optic company that will allow you and that suggests and says that you can put an optic into an ultrasonic cleaner, by all means, please post it in the comment section below, because I have yet to ever see one. So I'll remove that. I'll throw this into ultrasonic cleaner, and that is the disassembly of the upper. Good to go there. So next is the lower. Make some space here real quick. Next is the lower. Lower is pretty easy. The stock and the grip are connected. I have seen that there are different types that you can get, or you can just make it just like a traditional AR. You don't need this connector right here. So as far as disassembling this, on the bottom of the grip, this is just a cover plate. There's nothing special fancy about this, okay? And then there is the rubber pad for your shoulder, all right? After you remove this screw right here and remove the screw right here in the back, there is an empty spot where there are bolts that are holding this, carrying this to the lower, okay? Just like any other AR. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove these screws, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Now I will say the screw for this cover plate here is a little bit shorter than the one that's here on the back of the stock, so keep that in mind. So I'm not sure if I had that in the camera, I apologize. The screw here that secures the cover plate to the bottom of the grip is going to be a little bit shorter than the one that screws into the back of the stock, okay? Keep that in mind. So as far as this cover plate, remove it however you want. There's nothing special about this. I'm just using something small that I have to make it easier for you guys when you guys go to whatever it is that you insert in here. Don't try to lift it up like that. Put pressure towards the back half, and this comes straight out. Real simple and easy. Like I said, it's just a cover plate, nothing fancy. All right. Now that I did that, see if I can try to get this in the camera for y'all. There is a bolt down there at the bottom, just like any other rifle grip, okay? So go ahead and remove that for you guys. Now, again, just like all the other hardware that comes with any grip, this bolt does also have a washer on it, okay? So please be wary of that. Do not lose that washer. Sometimes these are butt heads and don't want to come out. If they don't want to come out, I know it's loose. Just adapt and overcome. Take some pliers, you just grab it gently and it'll come right out, okay? If my pliers will fit in here. There we go. All right. So like I said, there's the washer, there's the bolt. Just keep the washer on there. You don't have to worry about losing it. That's what I do. Set it aside in your small parts area. And that part is done. Now for the screw in the back of the stock, go ahead and remove that. Set that aside. Now this covering right here, this rubber covering, if you can see, there is an indent right there, right? So when you go to reassemble this does not just come straight off. Top goes in first, the rest will follow, okay? Make sure you get that little notch and that indent in the back of the stock. Set that rubber piece aside. Now inside of here, do what I can, my best to show you guys this. Okay? Inside of here, a little difficult to show you. You see how there's channels right here at the top? There's like a channel, like a almost like a rounded square top there. That's going to play a part into what I remove out of this stock. There's going to be a metal square plate that is what the bolt is sitting against, okay? So remove this bolt here. This bolt also has a washer. So make sure that you do not lose that washer. This bolt screws directly into the back of the buffer tube itself. Okay. So this is the square I told you. This is the bolt, the washer, and the bolt, when you go to reassemble it, sits right up against this little square, this little metal plate. Okay. Set that aside. Now the point what I wanted to make as far as that little rounded square cutout there, if you look at this plate, it also has that cutout. This plate only reinserts, only reassembles in one way. Okay, so just keep track of that. Now that those bolts are removed, you can just remove this straight off, set it aside, and per Rock Island Armory, that is as far as you need to go for the lower. It's good to go. Get put into the ultrasonic cleaner, get all clean, look all nice and pretty, get it back to the owner. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, get it back to my buddy so we can go back out to the range and sling some really large freedom seeds and slay some paper raw. If you liked the video, if you learned anything, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Again, as always, guys, a clean gun is a happy gun. You all stay safe, and I'll catch you guys here next time.